What's going on out there, Vol Nation? Lady Vols take care of business tonight. Their get back game, as I've seen people term it today. 89-75 over Middle Tennessee. It's a game coming in that if you looked at the preseason rankings, both of these teams had about the same amount of votes coming into the season. So this was one of those. Of course, Middle Tennessee beat the Lady Vols last year in Huntsville, played again this year, playing obviously in Knoxville. And it was one I thought it would be a decent test for the Lady Vols, and it was. As they started out a little bit slow out of the gates tonight, but then Samara Spencer took over in the first quarter. They got that little bit of a lead, and they really didn't look back tonight. And there's a lot to talk about as we go forward about this team, this style of play, and what they're doing. And, of course, the road ahead, and, some big recruiting news yesterday as well. So we'll talk about those few things as we go along. Let me some comments on here. Let me some feedback on here. Glad to have you guys in here tonight. Make sure you hit the like. If you'll share out content, that's greatly appreciated as well. And if you're one of those, if you've watched, you like content, you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button as well. Be greatly appreciated, as getting close to 2,200 viewers or subscribers on the channel, which is pretty cool at this point in time. And check out those membership tiers as well. I actually posted some members-only content, some stuff, not anything groundbreaking, but it was some stuff come across today, posted it for members on the channel. Been a little bit fortunate to run across, hear some things along the way, and especially baseball comes around. I've developed a couple pretty good friendships there to learn some things. But anyhow, you guys are here for Lady Vols basketball. Nothing else on here tonight. Papa J, what's up, Papa J? Member of the channel, says these ladies need to hustle back on defense. I think what we're going to see out of this style of basketball, what we're going to see out of it is on the nights it's running, that it's going well, it's going to look pretty good. When it's not going well, it may be a little bit infuriating at times. Case in point here, turnovers and the fouls. There were some moments tonight. It was a little bit chaotic, for sure. Redemption, what's up, General? Good to see you in here. Sandra's, good to see you in here as well. Redemption last year was an embarrassment. Now, I've said this before. I've been pretty honest and upfront. Really, about the only Lady Vols game I watched last year was that freaking South Carolina game in the tournament, which we all remember that. I didn't watch much of them other than that, but definitely, when I made the first Lady Vols video, I was like, well, we'll test it out, because people said you ought to make some Lady Vols video. Once I did, it's still highest rated. Lady Vols content's my highest rated content on the channel as far as views and stuff. I'm all in on it at this point. What's up, Joshua Costner? Good to see you in here. Lady Vols won 89-75 tonight, so they did take care of business. What's up, Michael? I'm so happy they're not starting out with a gauntlet of the schedule. Definitely learning games. Yeah, they had a couple. I don't think after the first two games, Kim Caldwell was especially – I don't think she was totally thrilled after those games, because she said, we've got stuff to work on. She said it's going to be a work in progress. I think you look at it tonight as well. They're getting used to it. Like Sandra says here, this style of play, it's insane. This is like the Audubon out here or something. They are going fast. They're firing up shots. The biggest thing, they got to get back on defense. I mean, we saw it at the end. I saw when Middle Tennessee girl goes to the hoop, Z Spearman, for whatever reason, just stood and watched. And I saw Ruby Whitehorn kind of getting on her a little bit about that. I don't know if there was some confusion or what it was on that. But, as far as the game goes tonight, I mean, against Samara Spencer, before the season started, they talked about Samara Spencer. Basically, this is going to run through her. Everything I read on it was that she is going to be really, she's ideal for this Kim Caldwell offense. We saw it tonight in terms of what she did. And let me pull up some stats here just a minute, as I want to pull up the analytical. I like the plus minus. I like the efficiency stuff here. Let me pull this up so you guys can kind of look at it, what I go by on here. Of course, you can find them on utsports.com that they pull them up, and I'll try to hit as many comments as I can here as I try to share this as well. But I always like these. I'm not necessarily totally an analytics guy to the core, but there's some stuff I do like on there as well. Oh, wrong one. Not that. Here's what I want right here. All right, so we're going to pull up some of these here as well. So this is the Tennessee stuff tonight. So the efficiency, the plus minus on it tonight. So if you see it on, probably no surprise, Samara Spencer was the most efficient tonight at 17, plus minus 9 on the night. Hollingshed had a 1 efficiency, but she was plus minus 9 while she was on the court as well. The minutes kind of went back and forth a little bit. You had, quite a few of them getting at least 15 minutes in tonight. Now, some of these some of the analytics stuff is a little weird. Now, if we go down here and look at this, is a little more traditional stuff, offensive rating. These are crazy stats here, but Puckett 13. Puckett was 3 out of 8, 2 out of 5 from 3-point. Whitehorn had 9, 3 assists, 5 turnovers. That's one thing Whitehorn a little bit cares, but Whitehorn can create. She does some good things. Spencer 17. Of course, she had 13 in the first quarter, 5 assists. Darby got hot, went 4 out of 8 from 3-point range. Let's see. Spearman hit a 3. She only had 3 points. Latham hit a cut. I know Latham, she hit 2 threes tonight. Talasia Cooper can play. She was 8 out of 16, 0 out of 2 from 3-point, 4 assists, 2 turnovers. But make no mistake about it, man. This team has got some girls that can play, and it's a breakneck pace. Again, there's going to be these nights where it's a little crazy. I need to learn. I'll be honest. I need to learn a little bit more about some of this defensive, offensive rating as far as how it goes. I'm going to assume, obviously, you get here Spencer, her rating 165.9. That's Boyd 151.9. The easy assumption is that's your highest rated players tonight. The efficiency ratings are pretty. Here's Cooper at 27. I was wrong. I said Spencer at 17. Cooper at 27. Cooper's a heck of a player. Plus minus 14 on the night for her also. But, just here as well, it's there's some players. There are some players on this team. Backwoods TN. Frank, what's up, Backwoods? Good to see you in here, my man. Let's see here. Need to clean up that post defense because 6'7" center got way too many open looks. So you can see the games. Now, the way I catch them is through the ESPN app on the SEC Network Plus. I know they're not out there on like the ESPN, ESPN2, or any of that. But any of you, if you do have a login, if you have a cable provider, satellite provider, you can go on the ESPN app, find the SEC Network Plus, and you can get them on there. It is a little bit of a pain to watch. I think if you have SEC Network Plus. If you have ESPN Plus, I'm not subscribed to it right now. I normally subscribe to it during baseball season. But if you have ESPN Plus, I'm thinking you can get them through there as well. Bender of Strings. What's going on, Bender of Strings? I'll be honest, I don't know how to get the games on YouTube. Like I said, I normally get them through the SEC Network Plus. And I'm pretty sure if you got ESPN Plus, you can get them, but not totally for sure on that. I could tell you a lot more to come baseball season when they're both kind of going at that point. But I'm kind of really surprised there's not some packages out there for like women's basketball, college baseball, as they're getting more popular, but they're just, they're hard to find. Like some of you are saying on here, they're definitely hard to find for sure. Football games easier to find on YouTube than Lady Vols. I know there are some of those. again, I don't watch much of them on YouTube, to be honest. I mean, there's some stuff I might come across, but most of it I try to go through the ESPN app when possible on it. But again, I thought this was a good test for the Lady Vols tonight against Middle Tennessee. I know they're not looked at as, one of these SEC teams, one of these big non-conference games. But again, it's a team that beat them last year in Huntsville. What was it? And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on this one. But did I hear that was the first time Middle Tennessee had ever beaten the Lady Vols last year? I'm thinking that's what I heard. If I'm wrong on that, I apologize. You guys can correct me on that if I am wrong on it. But, they did get their win-back game. I think that's their get-back game tonight with it. And, they closed good going into the half. They interviewed Kim Caldwell about it. Kim Caldwell said, it was the defense. It was the defense that did it. And you guys leave me some comments. What did you think about that officiating tonight? I thought it was a little interesting. Kim was getting a little worked up at one point. I was hoping she was going to get a technical. I want to see her get her first technical tonight. I don't know if she's ever had one or not. I don't know if there's hardly a coach who has not had a technical. Maybe there is, but I thought there was a point in time maybe she should have. There was some real interesting calls tonight. And, some both ways, but I felt like, I don't know, maybe I'm a little biased on that, obviously, but I kind of felt like the Lady Vols got the crap into the stick on some foul calls tonight, some ticky-tacky fouls. Here's one thing I've noticed in each of the Lady Vols games so far. What the hell is a charge anymore? And it's the same in the men's game. But to me, a charge, you're set. Player basically runs you over or something. There was one called early in the game tonight. I can't remember if it was Cooper or Boyd. I think it was Boyd, actually. Had gotten the steal, went up. The girl was moving the whole time under her in there. Called a charge on it. There was one, I cannot remember if it was against UT Martin or if it was the first game as well. But my understanding is that circle under the basket, if the defensive player is within that circle, it's a block. I've seen a couple charges called on that. So, I mean, maybe something's changed on it. But I'll be honest, I don't understand, and I have not understood for a few years what a charge is anymore. Because used to, you've got to be set when the player goes up. And even if the player's in the air, you can't get under them and get set was has always been my understanding. But apparently things have changed a little bit as well. Hit some of these comments here. Keith Williams, what's up, Keith? A lot of ticky-tack fouls. I agree on that one. Or may be the key to this team. Get a better idea of where we're at. We play FSU and Iowa. Totally agree on that. This was a pretty good test tonight. Maybe not up to those teams' standard for sure, but this was a game, again, like I said, in the preseason rankings. Of course, neither team was ranked, but they had about the same number of votes. So that tells me that, at least your pollsters and stuff see them as fairly close teams on that. Tennessee pulls away, of course, 89-75. Middle Tennessee got that basket late where it would look like a communication breakdown to me on it. Got 90. Man, we're close to 100. This is pretty awesome, guys. Keep it coming. Keep them coming. Let's get over 100 on here tonight. Again, if you're checking out the channel here, you like the content, haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Trying to get to 3,000 for the end of the year. Maybe a little ambitious as we're about 2170, 2175, right in that range. Been a great year for this channel. Been a great year. All you Lady Vols supporters, when I decided to do those videos, I didn't know what I was getting into with that. It's awesome, man. The support, Lady Vols support. Make no mistake about it. It is great. It is awesome across that, just Tennessee fans in general. Thank you so much for the support along the way. And again, check out those membership tiers. Like I said, I'm not sitting here telling you I'm an insider. I'm not by any means, but I've been fortunate to make a contact or two here in the last year. So try to pass along some little stuff here and there on that. So check out those membership tiers. There is $1 a month Patreon. No, not on here trying to bum money, but am advertising. You do have those options there as well. They are always appreciated as well. But yeah, I agree. Whitehorn may be a big key. She's a creator. Tonight she had a few more turnovers than usual, but I think she's probably. I really think so far, based on what I'm seeing, you guys tell me what you think here. I think Cooper may be the best player. I think Whitehorn's pretty. They've got some players on this team. Tim Dewberry, what's going on, Tim? Horrible officiating. The big girl from MTSU seemed to camp out in the lane. Ticky-tack fouls and a horrible charge call. I agree on that one. General said, listen to Brian Rice. He thought the calls were ticky-tacky as well. I thought so. I mean, I know Spearman she had to come out at one point for, what was it? I thought it was a pretty clean block. To me, it was a pretty clean block down low. They called a foul on her. She'd come out of the game. She didn't foul out on that. Yeah, but I did not see this, actually. I didn't. So you'll have to fill me in on that one, Sanders. I have not seen that one. I really probably don't think that the Georgia people think highly of Tennessee, but only one way to change their mind. That's to prove it this week. Thank you, Keith. I don't know that it matters in the men's anymore either. It seems to me like it's for a few years it's not been a big deal. So thank you for correcting me on that, because I had not heard that it went away. I don't know what the point of the circle is now, why it's still there, if that's not a charge. Used to, that was an automatic, not a charge, a block on it. What's up, Victoria Hunt? Glad to have you in here. Samara Spencer is definitely the motor on the team. That was one of the things that they said was in the preseason, that her and Boyd, they're going to be the ones that make this team go. And Spencer was brought in to be the point guard and runs. Spencer, when this team was struggling night, really in that first quarter, put them on their shoulder. And she had a big quarter on it tonight as well. We'll look at the split box, and we'll look at these stats here for tonight. So Lady Vols, actually, 41%. This is insane. This is crazy. I don't know if you guys have seen this. 73 field goal attempts tonight. That is crazy. That tells you the pace that they're playing at. 30 out of 73, 41% on the night. Good gosh, 15 out of 42 from three-point range. 36%. Free throws, 14 out of 19. Now, Middle Tennessee, on the other hand, shot 55% from the field, only 33% from three-point range. And their free throw shooting was pretty bad. 15 out of 28, 54%. Lady Vols did force 22 turnovers tonight. They got 29 points off of them. They did out-rebound Middle Tennessee tonight, 40-31. Second chance points, Lady Vols 13-9. Bench points 33-6. I mean, I don't know that there's many games, to be honest with you, that the Lady Vols bench is going to be outscored. Not the way that Kim Caldwell is rotating in and out. And, that's going to pay off at some point in the season, where maybe some top-heavy teams that aren't deep start to get a little worn out. This team's going. I mean, if you look looking back here at the minutes tonight, there were 11 ladies tonight who played at least 6 minutes. That's crazy. That is crazy. That is depth. That's called playing them. And I mean, you had Spear with 28 minutes, Puckett 16, Whitehorn 25, Spencer 27, Darby 20, Boyd 15, Spearman 16. I thought it was pronounced Iredale. I heard them pronounce it a little bit differently than the way I had heard it pronounced before. But she played 6, Latham 18, Hollinshed 8, Cooper 21. So 33-6 on bench points. Lady Vols did get smoked in the paint tonight, 44-24. Fast break, Lady Vols 23-17. Only 2 blocks, 13 steals tonight. 13 steals is pretty big, 15 assists tonight as well, to 14 turnovers. So that's a couple games in a row now. They're actually over I guess, over, what am I trying to look at? 1-1. They had some 1-1 games. They were over that tonight as well. I do not know on that one. I'll be curious to see on that, Keith. Be trying to keep an eye out on that, see any reason that Strickland did not play. And I'm not sure if she's hurt or what the deal was with that one. Let's see. Locked on. Georgia got Tennessee's frauds, and Georgia will 100% win on Saturday. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, Tennessee's got to prove them wrong. That's the bottom line. Of course, there's speculation out there tonight that Nico is in concussion protocol. I may do a video, and we'll see how much is done. I may do a video on that right after this, and I'll post it later on tonight. There's been some ESPN personalities speculating on Nico's status for Saturday, which could make things pretty interesting. So, let's see. Mulkey plays only 7, maybe 8 players a game. Be interesting. LSU can hang an entire game with the deep bench of the Vols, constant pressure. Looking forward to SEC play. It's a very good point right there. And I'm not watching the other teams. I'm not sure how many South Carolina play per game. I can't envision any of these teams having as much depth as the Lady Vols. Now, there may be some. I mean, but you look at it now, too. There are multiple former McDonald's All-Americans on this team. And, of course, there's more coming next year. You're going to lose some of these, obviously, to your seniors after this year. Now, I'm not sure how many may have a COVID year, but according to the roster right now, your seniors are Spear, Puckett, Whitehorn's a junior, Boyd's a redshirt freshman, Wynn is a senior, Spencer is a senior, Destiny Wells. Let's see, was it Wells that got injured that will be back? Please correct me if I'm wrong. Spearman's a junior, Darby's a junior, Strickland is a junior. Let me see here. Ajodele. Okay. Favor Ajodele. I am telling you, I totally heard that on something pronounced totally different than that. So I'm glad I listened to that because I made a mistake on the Prawl video. It is Denia Prawl, not Denia. And that was another one I thought I heard somewhere that it was Denia. It is indeed Denia Prawl. So I apologize for that. That is a pet peeve of mine, is when I mess names up. It honestly pisses me off when I do that. But it does happen. It does happen. It's an honest mistake when it does. And maybe it's careless, but it is what it is. This is, well, there was one of them. Who was it that is hurt for the Lady Vols right now and said she will be back next year? I cannot remember who it is off the top of my head. Win. Okay, thank you, Keith. Thank you. It is Win that'll be back. So let's see here as well. You got Cooper, who's a redshirt sophomore. Hollinshed's a senior. Latham is a sophomore. Darby is a fifth-year senior. Ajudame is a fifth-year senior as well. So you're losing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these ladies off his team. Now, here's a good thing you got. You've got Cooper coming back. Latham, who I think Latham was considered a very good transfer that you're getting. Strickland, Darby, Spearman. Spearman looks like she fits well. I mean, she had a big opening game. She's going to do good things this year. Boyd, a redshirt freshman. Whitehorn, a junior. You've got some players coming back next year. Okay, now you add the Paldo twins. You add Denia Prawl coming in. You're still in on Lauren Hurst. You're still in on Jada Civil. If you can close with those two, that is a great recruiting class with those 5. Plus, you add through the portal. There is going to be some big-time depth on this team next year. And, one of the things in Denia Prawl's, the article about it, she talked about, one thing she talked about was the coaches, how they were on her. they checked in with her, not just on basketball, but just family stuff as well. Especially Gabe Lazo was in on that. Really, him and Caldwell were pretty heavily in Denia Prall's recruitment. But she also talked about the style of play. Again, this is an insane style of play right now. Just breakneck. Never a dull moment. And again, I talked about it earlier. This is going to be one of those with this style of play. When it's on, it's going to be fun to watch. When it's not, there's going to be some of those times I think it's probably going to be a bit infuriating. But it is the style of play. It's going to be exciting one way or another. Let's put it that way. Kai and Wynn, thank you, Sanders. Both you and Keith both chimed in pretty quick on it. Joe McGuire, what's up, Joe McGuire? Appreciate that as well. It is Kai and Wynn who will be back next year. So they're going to lose some good players. They're going to have some nice depth next year. 24/7 and Hoop Girls. 24/7 had Prall at number 6. Hoop Girls had her at 13. I know the Paldo sisters they're both top 50 on it. Number 2 recruiting class behind LSU and still in the running for Civil and Hurst. Absolutely. I mean, they got the bad news, last week that Grace Knox committed to LSU. Tennessee was in deep on that one. But unfortunately, I don't know what they could have done more on it. Seems like they hit it out of the park on the visit. And, you're recruiting against the best. Unfortunately, you're not going to win them all. But the fact that they won the Prall recruitment, they got the Paldo twins in the fold back in the summer. I know they're in town. When there's visits, they're down there recruiting. This staff's doing an awesome job. A lot of it's going to be determined on the court and stuff. But I think you got to like what we've seen so far. And again, tonight, I think it was a really good win. It was a bounce-back game from last year. They got their revenge tonight. Now moving forward, let's see, they play Saturday at noon. Saturday at noon against Liberty. Next Tuesday, they will be off next week. They return November 26th against Western Carolina, and then they're off till December 4th. That's really the first big one as far as I'm concerned, as far as non-conference. Again, I can't state it enough. I think tonight was a better matchup than maybe people thought. But Florida State, December 4th in Knoxville. Then you got Iowa up in Brooklyn. You finish off your non-conference schedule, at least before you get to SEC, with North Carolina Central, Memphis, Richmond, Tulsa. Let's see. Richmond and Tulsa is in the West Palm Beach Classic. Then they're off till December 29th, play Winthrop to close out 2024. Then they start SEC play January 2nd against Texas A&M. They do have that one non-conference game left against UConn, which is on February 6th, which is Thursday night. We'll be in Knoxville. And, if this Lady Vols team keeps doing their thing, what I hope will happen is the crowd will come out, that you start getting into these bigger games, maybe we can come up and pack the old Food City Center, not to be confused as Thompson Bowling Arena. There, man, we got a great crowd in here tonight, 116. Probably getting close to wrapping up on this one, just because I don't want to get repetitious and monotonous on this. The General's got a good post here. I'll hit a couple others here. We just got to get through the first year, because I think Lady Vols will be gunning for South Carolina, LSU for the SEC with this group of freshmen coming next year, plus returning talent. Yeah, I totally agree with that one. I mean, it's getting your system down as well. What we're seeing right now is not going to be the best Lady Vols team. We're probably going to get more of an idea. It's going to be, toward March when they're playing at that point in time. And it'll be interesting to see what happens in January when Kim Caldwell has her baby. How long will she be out? I don't know if that's been established yet, who would take over during that time. I have not seen anything about that, but that's something, a little bit more down the line, probably about a couple months away with that. I'm sure they'll have a plan in place at that point as well. But let's see. What's up, Fred, in here? Good win tonight. MT is a well-coached team. It was impressive controlling them the whole game. I agree with that. Definitely a well-coached team there along the way also. Tart Bronze, what's up, Tart Bronze? Ace a little too slow on the traps. I had a few breakdowns tonight, but again, I think it's going to happen. It's going to happen along the way. I don't know what, again, for them to, what I would consider a little bit of a work in progress, just getting used to the system, the style of pace, incorporating all these new players. I mean, they said it in the telecast tonight that they talked to Kim Caldwell about it being a revenge game, said, yeah, they wanted to win it to get, I guess, kind of get that win back from last year. But it's like the announcers on the ESPN or the SEC Network Plus said, most of these players on the team were not even on it last year. So, yeah, I'm sure they wanted to get it back for those who were on the team, but majority of the team wasn't there. You're breaking in a lot of new players. I mean, you had 5 Power 5 transfers coming in. You're, incorporating Cooper. You're incorporating Boyd into the fold. So it's going to take a bit, but what this staff's doing, again, the excitement is high right now. We'll see where it goes. But I appreciate you guys. I'm going to go ahead and record something on the Nico front tonight based on what I'm reading, what we're hearing, what's being said tonight. I'll have that released here hopefully by 9:30. So, thank you guys for tuning in with me tonight. Appreciate you. Appreciate all your support. Cannot state that along the way. If you're one of these, if you're checked out the channel, you like the content, leave me a comment after. Leave me some feedback on it as well. Hopefully some of the technical stuff been having is going to be out of the way here very soon. So it's got some new hardware coming in tomorrow that I'll be excited to get and hopefully amp up the presentation here a bit as well. You guys have a great rest of your evening. This is the House of Orange Sports Channel. Last, but most certainly not least, go Vols and go Lady Vols.